Hey guys, I've gotten a lot of questions about the light tunnel project here. So I just thought I'd walk through with you guys and show you where your marks are coming from for it so that there won't be any confusion and you guys can, well, give me what I'm looking for, okay? So first of all, you're going to follow the this formal explanation setup up here, okay? Now let's take a look at the actual points where they're coming from. So light reflects or refracts at least 3 times, okay? This is pretty simple. As long as you are using 3 optical devices within your assembly, you will get your 3 marks, okay? So that can be, you're using a plane mirror or, you're using a plane mirror and that's going into a lens and that's going to a concave mirror. I don't know. As long as the light going through your tunnel has 3 different manipulations on it, okay? As long as you have that, you'll get your 3 marks. Proper use of mirrors and lenses. This is pretty much saying as long as, if you want the light to reflect, you are using the proper mirror to do what you want the light to do. So if you want to converge things, you're using a converging lens or you're using a concave mirror, right? As long as you're using the proper mirror or lens for what you want to do for each of these 3 times that your light reflects or refracts, you will get your 3 marks for that one as well, okay? The tunnel has walls and bends. As long as you're showing me that you are using that light to get around the obstacle, which is the dirt or whatever you're trying to get around to get light into a room underground or whatnot. As long as you show me that you can direct light through this tunnel, then you will get your marks for that one, okay? For organization and neatness, using a ruler, okay? That would be a big one. Color coding is not necessary, but it would be helpful. It would definitely make things a lot more neat. And this is pretty much just clarity. As long as I can look at it and understand what's going on, you'll get your marks for that one. If I have to struggle to understand what you've drawn and, lines don't match up and, if it's just in general messy, that's where you'll lose marks, okay? So make it nice, neat, use a ruler. You should get full marks for that one, okay? The light rays, angles, and focal points are shown. So this is for each optical device. If you're using a plane mirror, I want you to show how light is showing me pretty much that you understand the laws of reflection, that a ray coming in, bouncing off a plane mirror will have the same angle of reflection as the angle of incidence. So you're just going to label those 2 angles and maybe draw in like a little normal line to show that you're measuring from the normal. As long as you do that, or if you're using converging lenses or really any lens or concave mirror, mark where the focal point is so that I know, like, if you have your mirror here, I know that the focal point is here, which is, I don't know, on another mirror. So I know that it's where the focal point is and where it's focusing light and whatnot. Okay. As long as you mark those things, the focal point and the angles, you'll get full marks for that one. Remembering that you're having 3 optical devices, which will manipulate light 3 times. So each one of those is out of 3 because you will do that for each and every optical device that you're using, okay? And then, so that will be for the actual drawing. That's where those marks are coming from. So that's 15 points for the drawing. And then for the light tunnel explanation, this is the written up part. This is the part where you're going to state your purpose. That one should hopefully be pretty simple. It's already stated up above. So you're pretty much just restating why you're doing this. You're going to give me a list of materials, okay? That will be just saying how many mirrors, how many lenses, what type of lenses, what type of mirrors you're going to use in this, okay? You don't have to worry about materials like concrete and steel supports and yada, yada, yada. We don't need that, okay? I'm just worried about the optical part of this. You'll notice for the rationale, it's out of 9 points, okay? So this is the big part. This is where you should probably focus when it comes to the explanation. For this, like I said, it's out of 9. You'll notice up here where it says rational explanation, there are 3 questions or 3 points to include, okay? So you're going to include for each time, each optical device that you're using, you're going to include what mirror you used. That should actually say mirror or lens. So what optical device you used, what it does to the light, and how it fits into the larger picture. So for example, if you're using a plane mirror and that's the first thing that the light hits, you would start off saying, okay, I use a plane mirror to reflect the light as parallel rays into the main opening of the tunnel. Okay, there you've answered what mirror you used, what it does to the light, and how it fits in the larger picture. It's making the light enter the tunnel, right? Or it's focusing the light in the tunnel if you're using a focusing mirror or lens, right? So you're saying you're answering all three of those. Now there are 3 optical devices you're using. There are 3 questions here, right? So for each of the 3, you're going to answer those 3 questions. That's where your 9 marks come from, right? So 3 is one question, one optical device. The next 3 is the next optical device. The next 3 is the next optical device, okay? As for the conclusion, it's out of 3. You'll notice up here, there are kind of 3 things that I want you to discuss. So discuss where light may be lost in the process. This is just a very simple, I think light in this case might be lost from, if you're using a focusing lens and you've got a mirror in front of it, well, a little bit of light won't hit there. So how can you possibly solve that problem, right? The plane mirror might get in the way of the focusing mirror, and so you won't get all of the light rays hitting the focusing mirror, right? So maybe you'd want to use a lens that would be up here that would gather the light and focus it onto a mirror, right? So you can talk about where light might be lost in your process. This would be kind of the type of thing that if someone else was reading, they might think it might be problems that you don't know how to solve, and they might be able to look at it and go, oh, well, I could probably make this, improve on this by fixing this, So discuss the challenges you had when designing your light tunnel. So what was the biggest challenge? Like, for example, was it getting enough light down the tunnel, or was it dispersing the light at the end of the tunnel? So where was the biggest challenge and how did you solve that? And last, what might some alternative ideas be if your design failed when put into practice? How might you troubleshoot problems in the design? This is focusing on the idea of, like, what would you do if it failed? How can you change your design? How can you solve a problem? Okay, so you can look at it and try to find where your system might fail when you put it into actual practice, and try to come up with maybe a troubleshoot, like an alternative design. You don't have to actually draw out another design. Okay, I'm not looking for 2 designs here, but just talk about how you might solve it. Okay, and last thing I want to note is that design problems do not include things out of your control. So you're not going to deal with something like how you would solve it if a dog ran in front of your focusing mirror. Okay, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the actual design problem of getting light from the sun into a room underground. Your design problem would be something that would interfere with that light's path. Okay, we're not worried about things external to the system. All right. Other than that, good luck, everyone. I hope you have fun with it. I look forward to seeing them, and I hope this has helped you out to figure out what you should be doing. All right. Talk to you later.